These are the best highlights from today's 2024 LCK Summer Split matchup.
And Doran able to get Keen down to about 50% underneath this turret.
They're gonna try, but I don't know. This is a level 3 Cassante. Keen, even with half health, should still be quite tanky.
Yeah, well, they get the CC down. There's the pushback. Keen burning, and it is going to be first blood going over to Lehens. Instantly answered by Peanut taking down Keen.
But while this is happening, Paze is just pushing to his heart's content. Waves are gonna be lost. Experience gone by the wayside. And yeah, they were able to get the kill, but I don't think that's how Hanwha Life wanted to play it ends.
And Doran's gonna get stopped on his back butt. Yeah, that's gonna be the pullback there as Lehens in a little bit of trouble. Viper gets that frost shot on him, and his ex-teammate looks to be going down. Peanut collects another.
Two really greedy plays here from Lehens. The first one ends up going pretty well for Gen.G and ends up being a bit of a backfire for Hanwha.
Time though.
He's too late.
Yeah, Doran's gonna be in a lot of trouble, but Delight should turn up.
They know.
Lehens gets the information. And now Doran, can he actually find it? That death grip, absolutely amazing. But the crash down's working out. Doran gets a big old shield, and Gen.G unable to actually close any of these kills. Delight goes in. Canyon's so incredibly low. Lehens trying to tank up the turret, and FaZe ends up collecting the kill. But now the reset monster could be coming through. Paze has already gone down, and Zeka not actually able to get into range here. You can see him looking for a reset angle, but not going to go too deep.
Still a lot of cooldowns, and I think Hanwha Life actually feeling quite good, although with this gank, maybe not.
Big aggression here as Delight's going to get pulled back. The Eclipse doing a lot of work, but I don't think it's going to be able to do enough here as Gen.G with 3 are able to take him down. Lehens getting revenge on his opposite number.
Lanes aren't real in this game. It's just gank squads and victims of gank squads. As we're just seeing non-stop dives here, non-stop action. Hanwha, though, ending up with a pretty significant gold lead here after the fact. I mean, it's only 200, but they're winning out on a lot of these exchanges. The question becomes, though, have Gen.G staved off the pressure enough? Because Paze was able to get that kill earlier on. I'm pretty sure also the biggest experience gap that we have between two players right now, meaning that Gen.G isn't really in a position to get anything going when it comes to contesting. No, I think Hanwha really, or Gen.G rather, actually indexed super hard into the top side, right? They tried to set up that dive. They had a ton of deep vision, but they couldn't ultimately stop the grubs from going down.
Yeah, so we'll see if that is enough reason for Hanwha Life to maybe peace out, but nope, not happening.
There's a teleport in, and we do have the ultimate available here from Doran. The arrow going to connect as Viper is flanking. Okay, Stranglethorns is going to kill Canyon. He can't impale his way out of that one. And some more grubs going over to Hanwha Life Esports in this Tristana.
It was a very greedy call from Gen.G, but you don't want to give over 6 grubs. 5 is almost inevitable in this situation because you only have one smite button. Once you use yours, Peanut can always get the second. Ash is going to be a lot more utility in terms of how she plays out these team fights than the Smolder and Ezreal later on that are just so incredibly strong and punish any sort of indecision because you have that poke coming through and that burn from the Smolder Q. Zeka's having a 1v2 up here for now as they're trying to shut down this Tristana, trying to prevent him from getting those plates.
What's big here is that with Lehens roaming up...
Haven't maybe watched as much LCK, that would be an Infernal Soul, pick up the Cinders, drift around the map, feel really good about
dive Mordekaiser.
Yeah, dive Mordekaiser at level 10 with the ultimate available. That is a rough choice, but they are still going to consider it. Chovy, he's the one that goes in. The stun had already connected as well from Viper. And Chovy able to get out of the way of one of the abilities, but not that one. Still, it doesn't matter. The Mordekaiser goes down.
But
and somehow he survives. I think the grass might have been a pretty important part.
Yeah, the Tristana, though, is going to be able to push topside here, take that turret out and start putting the pressure on this inner. A lot of resources spent for Gen.G to try to stop the Tristana from getting that plate gold, getting that top turret. She still gets it. It's in trade for a turret, but that's a Cassante picking up the gold versus a Tristana picking up the gold. This is exactly where Hanwha Life want to be. Herald gets dropped down here in mid. This is the type of snowball this composition needs to have to win this game, and Hanwha Life are finding the angles. There's that 2,000 gold lead, and even an extra crash.
Yeah, another crash, half the health bar, and actually this is just
the inner.
It's a Tristana and it's 5 grubs. Like, that is not long for the world. In a turret, a lot of gold. And Hanwha Life Esports, despite the fact that they lose Doran, they're unable to actually get that counter kill.
Before that we're playing here, that 2,000 gold lead has become a 3,000 gold lead. Zeka, he's the one with all the money, and this is exactly where Hanwha want to be, but here comes the arrow.
Another arrow going to connect this time onto Lehens. That's a big impale onto 2 there, but the Stranglethorns encounter. Triple knockup. True Shot Barrage says no to that play, though. They take down the turret, yes, but they lose almost everyone. As Hanwha Life Esports now have to back away.
Into Doran, which makes sense. But Zeka and Viper, as of right now, absolutely demolish him. We saw it earlier. Just Koenig isn't going to do a lot, and you can see, ideally, Cassante will be able to walk up.
Guys,
Not so
Tristana.
much. No, that
Ladies and
gone.
gentlemen.
It's gone. Yeah.
Delight's going to help out.
Gen.G's buildings are falling down. Like, all of the buildings just keep falling down, guys.
Well, I mean, this is what T1 failed to do, I think, to the more lethal level that we're seeing Hanwha do today with the Tristana yesterday.
Drive-by? No.
I don't think so. So now Hanwha have, second Drake. It's not soul point, so this is not the end of the world here for Gen.G. They were able to get that one dragon, so that's 5 minutes of extra time for the Smolder stacking, the Smolder scaling, because that damage is so frustrating to deal with, even when you're trying to contest Prio for a dragon, for example. And okay, hold that thought. Lahen's going in.
Yep, Death Realm is going to come on through here as Doran just wanting to take down the Rel before the battle's even started. Pays in a lot of trouble in the arrow! And it's Zeka that's able to lock down the kill, gets the reset out of the way of Canyon now. And Lahen's is still alive, but it does not matter. There's so much damage raining down. He finally finds a Magnus Storm, and maybe it's just going to be Chovy that ends the show, but in fact it's not. Because Zeka's here and he says, remember 2022? Well, here's another dose.
And we said it's a 2 Gary composition, and one of the Garys taken out immediately.
Here into the arcane shift, he just dies right into the arrow. Big mistake. And then you talked about this just moments ago, Chronicle, with the current itemization for Keen here. He just does not last. Now with really good engages here, with the Magnet Storm combo with Canyon, there are a lot of Qs that go up, a lot of burn damage.
Monumental deficits, and there is still always going to be eventually the team fighting, but I'm looking at specifically Keen on this blind Cassante. This is something that Gen.G keeps doing, even though Keen, I feel like, gets beat down again and again and again, and it's not out of necessity. We know that Keen can play the counter picks very well, and I don't think it's one of the core issues in this game.
They're going to lose all of their camps. They're going to keep falling further and further behind. And Peanut, a player very, very good at this, is there. Hail, speaking of which, he's just going to get blown up. Lahen's going to follow suit, but you can see Chovy in a decent position to do damage, and now Pays is actually in the fight. And look at these Qs. They're being torn apart over the wall. Is Zeka, though, still looking for some angles? But they're like, nope, we don't want to risk it. We're going to try and get out of there. Trying to keep them at bay with that volley.
Lahen's getting a lot of vision set up here, actually, into Hanwha Life's jungle. It has a nice wraparound angle potentially as well.
Oh, Delight's fishing for it. They find the solar flare. This is the flashless Skarner. He still finds an impale, but is it going to be enough as Peanut goes golden? But that's a lot of bad guys. You're not on Gen.G anymore, my friend. And Doran now just trying to run away. Once again, Peanut in the ground.
And that's the jungler gone, and now Gen.G.
Lahen's, though, he has so much vision. He set it up earlier. They have a lot of information. They can punish, they can turn.
Yeah, Zeka going for a bit of an angle here. The crash down works, and there's the execute. Can't Buster shot him away from that one, and that is just, that should be Baron.
Making the play work. That's that Lahen's energy that we're looking for.
I mean, he was just moments before they went for that engage onto Keen, setting up for that vision for Baron.
And Hanwha Life, I don't think they're going to be able to grab their Cloud Soul that they had waiting for them in the pit. Looks like Gen.G will be able to collect that, utilizing the Baron that they had. Only 1,300 on the Red Bull Baron power play, and Hanwha Life Esports still have a gold lead, but this is really starting to turn into there be Dragons territory.
Yeah, we're going to get to the point where a fight just is not going to be won unless Doran gets access to Chovy. That's the one way that there is still an out here for Hanwha Life, because straight up front to back, with how tanky Canyon now is, Keen obviously has gotten to the point, getting very close to his next time finish as well. And also a stopwatch, just to make sure he's okay.
For the next arrow.
Wait.
All right, the arrow is going to connect onto Viper's ex-teammate. The Stranglethorns just spreads them all out. Zeka's almost dead. Chovy is going to use one of his stopwatches, this one for the Death Realm, and now that Mordekaiser is just dead. It's Pays that executes him in the end, and the inner turret now going down. Gen.G might just be finished with game one.
And Chovy does actually get found by Doran, but Pays says, I can step up this time around, gets the damage, and Hanwha can't collapse.
Gen.G, massive, massive win here. It all starts with the play, topside, Canyon flashes for the Impale, they get map control, they turn that fight in mid, and it's just so impressive.
Still going, another Magnus Storm comes in here, maybe a little bit of a bridge too far there, Lahen's, as he was feeling himself. You know, it's been a bit of a high-fee game this time.
He's got Cleanse Flash, and his E will come back in a second. Yeah. It's so hard to lock down this champion without that Nautilus pick, that was banned earlier. I mean, Leona's still good here, but This is so impressive. There's no teleport wards, there's no flank angles.
Dead by the time Chovy is dead, because if he's left to hit them with anything, he just dies. Arrow going to connect. It does give them a bunch of extra vision. Lahan's trying to crash away from this. The Baron kind of ignored now. Doran just putting Lahan's into that death realm. And the Impale is going to connect. It's onto Peanut, but he goes golden as well. His Sonya's now completed. Can he get another spell off? And it's the Cassante in trade for this Zyra. But look at Chovy, they just cannot get anywhere near him.
Keep the damage from Chovy at bay, but it just doesn't feel like it matters. Maybe they'll be able to trade for the soul here. I don't think that alone is going to be enough.
But I think it's the only choice they can make. They clear the wave. Zeka still had teleport, so he can come over here and help secure this so Gen.G can't get the double.
Goes down extraordinarily low. Though. Can he actually join the fight is the question. As Doran, oh man, if Chovy had to walk a little bit closer,
oh, no, never.
Would have been dangerous.
Come on!
And instead, the teleport comes in and they lose an inhibitor in the mid lane. This Baron doing its work here for Gen.G. They're not taking the risks. Going to help that one move on over. Did look a little bit comical, but it was necessary. Arrow going to connect into the backline there. Good buffer on the arcade shift as the Impale used only onto Delight, but he's still melting. Doran trying to get into that backline, but it's Chovy that locks down the first one. Keen in trouble, but how much trouble is he really in? Because this Dragon is only just getting started, but so is the Tristana. Some angles here for Viper as well, as now they're looking for it. Chovy is so incredibly lucky. Oh, and the burn! Is it enough? And the answer's no, as Hanwha Life, they find the team fight.
25 seconds per base. They can definitely get the inhib.
Oh, we've got an Elder Flip in this game, boys.
Oh,
we have definitely got an Elder Flip in this one. It's going to be an inhibitor to go down here.
And
I don't know whether they can.
though,
I mean, there's a lot of damage. There is a lot of damage. Arrow is back up again. Canyon extremely tanky. Lahan's trying to get in there. Look at that. The Nexus turret just evaporates. And Zeka is not going to be dying to Lahan.
It's going for it!
It's going for it! The rocket jump and game one goes to Hanwha Life Esports.
Oh, Zeka!
These were some of the best highlights from today's 2024 LCK Summer Split matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.